Hello, I'm Kenny Potter, president of ECS Publishing Group, and today we have Darren Dailey. He is president and artistic director of the Jacksonville Children's Chorus, and he is also the editor for the Darren Dailey Choral Series with ECS Publishing Group, Galaxy Music. And so, Darren, welcome. Glad you're with us.
Glad to be with you.
So Darren, you and I have known each other a long time, a good friend. So I know your background, but why don't you share it with other folks? Tell us about your journey.
So I grew up in New Jersey. I went to public schools. I did not have any private lessons until my senior year in high school, which I paid for myself. My parents didn't have the resources to do that sort of thing. But between Westminster Choir College vocal camp and the great education I got in a public school and a little bit of grit on my part, I was able to get into Westminster Choir College. I struggled for 4 years, but I did graduate in 4 years. Um, a lot of my classmates are quite surprised at how successful I've been in my career, but again, I attribute that to having tremendous grit. Met my wife there. She came from a family of 8 professional musicians, five of which went to Westminster, organists and pianists. And so I married into this incredible musical lineage. Suzanne has definitely been my best teacher, telling me what's going well and what I need to improve on, as a wonderful wife will do. And you know this, having a
Yes.
musical
Yep.
wife who will be quite candid with us at times. I worked in a Catholic church for 13 years in North Carolina, taught a little bit at Fayetteville State University, went for a master's at Appalachian State in choral conducting, where I had podium time every day, Kenny. That was such an extraordinary gift to spend an entire year making mistakes and learning from them,
Sure.
having very forgiving mentors and singers in the choir. Uh,
Yeah.
and then went back to North Carolina, Fayetteville for a little bit, and then headed up to the Boston Children's Chorus, where I was the founding artistic director, where I met my very good friend Rollo Dilworth, who we've had a friendship for over 20 years now, and lots of collaborations and some more to come. Um, but leaving Boston, came to Jacksonville 20 years ago. This is my 20th season, and have really felt like we've built something extraordinary here. We have our own facility. We commission regularly. So composers who are listening, send me your charts. I would love to take a look at them. I may be a little hopefully I'll be overwhelmed by scores. That would be great, because we're a little bit over 30 in my series right now, and always looking for different approaches to text. Text is everything to me. Kenny, you know that I'm new to writing lyrics and poetry, and have a great appreciation for that.
I'll also chime in for the viewers. I've known Darren's program since he got to Jacksonville. And Darren, I don't think you might remember this. St. Olaf Choir came and
Right,
sang
yeah.
in the symphony performance hall, and you had only been there for a few years. And my college choir was actually in town, and we came
Oh,
and was there for that concert. Yeah. That was almost 20 years ago. And so I've watched the Jacksonville Children's Choir grow under your leadership. And so, yes, I can also attest to your ability with lyrics and text. So now about your series, tell us, just give the listeners and viewers some ideas on your series and thoughts about your series.
So when we began the series, we initially talked about it being a children's choir series. And as pieces started to come to us that were not necessarily for children's choirs, we started to expand. And then folks were telling me that, I have an SATB choir with basses that are not quite too low. Can you look for something, that's going to accommodate them? And I started to share this information with composers. Tom Shelton was the first piece we published. We sing Alleluia. Tom is coming to Jacksonville in January to
Love
conduct
that.
our honor choir. Yeah, he's great. We have another piece coming out in the series. Actually, I think it's already released. Serez-moi plus fort, which is in French, which we learned when we were in New Orleans with the New Orleans Children's Choir. So I have a long history with Tom. I knew him when I was with the Boston Children's Chorus. And then we shift to a very advanced piece, our second piece, which was a new psalm by Ken Berg, which sounds like Chichester Psalms in like 4 minutes. Um,
That's fun.
yeah, it's really a fantastic piece that Ken took on the setting of Psalm 98, and you can do it with brass, full brass, or just piano or piano and percussion. It's an exceptional work. And then we found some things from other composers. Nancy Gifford did a set of Nutcracker Suite songs, which is so fun for those choirs who want to do something with the holiday spirit but can't take on sacred texts.
Sure.
Really works well at the elementary level. So you could see and how the series is being crafted. It's being crafted around text and excellence, and accessibility. I only bring to you, Kenny, pieces that we're going to perform in a concert, either at our Cool Side concert or our Lift Every Voice and Sing concert or our Women in Song or Veterans Day. And we like to really highlight also people who have local ties to Jacksonville.
And I'll also say you have some Gwyneth Walker works.
Oh, when y'all came to me with those, that was an immediate yes. One, I was stunned and shocked that there was that great interest to get those published. Not because it's Gwyneth Walker is not an exceptional composer, because she is that we have the privilege of promoting that work. And I've done it in multiple settings. I've done it with just piano with a small choir. I did it with brass quintet with an honor choir festival for an honor choir festival. And last spring we did it with about 60 voices and we used a string arrangement. And really was just, it's a fantastic set. And the Nikki Giovanni poems
Hmm.
just they really hit me in a way that I thought, you know what, Darren, you should sit down and start writing. You've got so many texts in your head from when you were a church musician to all the different choral works you've worked, you've prepared and executed over the years. Let's sit down and let's see what you can do. And it kind of grew out the lyricist part of my life grew out of looking for patriotic texts.
Hmm.
Both you and I have done every arrangement there possibly has ever been written of these songs that everybody knows. And when you get to, let's say, the years of wisdom in your career, you're looking for some new things. So I sat down and I just started just writing phrases, and Echoes of Freedom is a result of doing that. Um,
And you just referenced Echoes of Freedom, and Rollo, our friend Rollo Dilworth, has just penned the music for that. And that will be coming out in your series in a few months, as well as another collaboration. Speaking of Rollo and other composers, what are your go-to composers and or favorite composers for from Galaxy or E.C. Shermer or Morningstar?
I will tell you one of my favorite works that I did every year on Good Friday at the church that I was serving was the Raymond Hahn setting of Were You There? For organ and cello, SATB chorus, and soprano soloist.
Mm.
We did that once, and the congregation, I didn't do it the next year, and I heard about it.
Interesting. That's
So
great.
incredibly powerful. And I really miss that piece now that I don't have a church position and I'm not serving in that capacity. But that was just such an um, exceptional church work that I definitely would program. If I ever am invited back into that kind of role, I would definitely want to program that again because it's so emotional. It's such an emotional text already, and it's not the traditional spiritual tune. It's a brand
Right.
new tune, and it's haunting, and I can't find the words to really encapsulate that extraordinary anthem. The other is I just love Kyle's work. Reconcile. We finally, after 3.5 years, put it on the shelf for a little bit because there were so many occasions that we were getting in
Mhm.
front of audiences that needed to hear that message. Let's find a way to meet, to come together, apologize, to forgive, to try to understand. Just a huge fan there.
Yeah, it's funny. Those of you who have seen my interviews, this is the typical question I ask at the end. And Kyle Peterson's name gets a shout out almost every time. So, because Kyle's killing it. So, Kyle, if you're watching this, keep up the good work.
I want a piece
So
of my series, Kyle.
there you go. I'll make sure he heard that. Um, all right. Well, Darren Dailey, thank you so much for joining us today. And there will be more to come. You can go to our website at ecspublishing.com and check out Darren's series. And thank you so much, Darren.
Thanks, Kenny.
All right.